thing had nothing to do with me nor her. Them bitches was coming at you about your because they had too much ammo. Act like you didn't say that. I wasn't there. Now, damn sure ain't gonna come to somebody about they.
The room had a feeling of the drama between them had always revolved around benches, but it had never been this intense and intimate. And now that it was happening in front of the cameras, it felt like everything was coming apart. Under the surface of what was meant to be a typical taping of the famous reality show, a storm was building. Everything around Yandy and Rasheeda faded into the background. Despite the bright lights, crew, and cameras, it was a drawn-out conflict between the two of them. Rasheeda and M's history was undeniable. They had a shared background and an unbreakable tie that had always simmered beneath the surface. However, when me started seeing Yandy, things began to shift. Although Rasheeda had been Yun's confidant and friend for years, their relationship had never been straightforward. Rasheeda had initially tried to be supportive, but she soon started to question M's commitment and the choices he was making. Yandy could feel the heat rising in her chest as Rasheeda's comments sliced through the air like a sharp dagger. Now that the cameras were filming every second the gloves were being removed. And it wasn't just unlike the usual lighthearted banter or joking that had defined their relationship, this was real. Over time, Rasheeda's disapproval of M's choices had grown, and now she wasn't holding back. Yandy seemed to be the target of every look and every utterance, as if her relationship with Ensis were a personal betrayal of some kind. Will you actually sit here and support him? Yandy, you're still going to act like he's your knight in shining armor after everything he's done? Rasheeda asked in a tone of disbelief. Yun's blood was boiling, but she kept her cool, knowing that this was no time to let her emotions run wild. Rasheeda had always been eager to point the finger at M's failures due to their problems, but now it felt like an attack on her, as if Rasheeda was questioning her judgment, her choices, and everything that had led her to this moment. Why do you mention messes all the time? I have to cope with his background, baggage, and mistakes. You are not the one in this relationship. Stop sitting here and acting as though you know what's best for me. Although Yun's tone was severe, her voice wavered with the annoyance she had been holding within for too long. Rasheeda scoffed and rolled her eyes, but Yandy wasn't finished yet. She had gone too far, and when her life was on the line, she couldn't afford to hold back. Condemning me and critiquing him, you've always had your opinions, but you've never walked in our shoes. Yandy continued, raising the volume of her voice every second. You act as though you know everything, even though you have no idea what we've been through or what I've had to forgive. The tension between the two women was intense. The air was thick with verbal hostility and unresolved issues. The deeper problems that had been brewing for years were the rivalry, the silent jealousy, and the way Rasheeda's presence in M's life had always hovered over Yun's relationship with him like a shadow. I was no longer the only one involved. Rasheeda's eyes narrowed in retaliation, her face contorted with rage. Feel as though you are the only person who has had to deal with M's mess. You think I don't understand what it's like to be in a relationship with someone who makes mistakes all the time. I'm tired of seeing you pretend that he has changed while letting him pull you down, Yandy, because he has hurt us both. The words hit Yandy like a smack in the face, and for a second, she felt the ground move beneath her. She felt like everything was falling apart inside of her, and she wanted to strike out and scream at Rasheeda for all the suffering she had caused, but she refused to let anyone enjoy seeing her crumble. Rasheeda's persistent interference and M's mistake, aka the drama that had accompanied them all along, even though Yandy had been fighting to keep things together for a long time, their disagreement got more heated tonight, and it felt like the dam was about to collapse. Accusations are coming in increasing numbers. Knowing that they were witnessing a relationship breakdown, a long-running battle for dominance and respect, and that there was ultimately no obvious solution to the dispute, the team stood by, unsure of how to intervene. Yandy ran away, while Rasheeda's anger simmered beneath the surface. Exhausted and enraged, the cameras kept rolling. Yandy seems to have lost the battle to keep her family together. According to rumors, Mies has finally returned to his true love, Erica, by resigning since he is sick of being called his wife. There are even those who speculate that they might already be married. But the real fight had only just begun for Yandy. It was about navigating the wreckage that had become her life and whether she could trust anyone, even herself. It wasn't just about Rasheeda or Mies. Yandy is scolding Mies for hurting her, but she's also sending Erica a serious warning by saying, "It is well known that Yandy's pride is the only thing keeping her in this marriage. And since Mies has moved in with Erica, it seems like she has lost all self-control." In case you missed it, Mies was freed from prison earlier this year after being convicted of drug-related offenses. Yandy stood strong and took care of everything on her own with M's support during his incarceration, doing everything she could to keep the family together. We thought Yandy would finally enjoy her marriage after all her sacrifices and labor while he was in prison. In case you missed it, I decided to move on to Yandy's most ardent rival, Erica, rather than show devotion to Yandy for keeping the family together because, as they say, once a cheater is a cheater. To deal with the issues in their marriage, they even went to therapy. It's clear that Mies hasn't set boundaries with Erica, and Yandy and Erica have been in conflict for years. You have probably noticed that Yandy has continuously denied the existence of her marriage if you have been following the romantic triangle between Yandy and Mies's past. Although she knows Mies is still seeing Erica, she hasn't told her straight because of her pride and because of her conceit. She thinks she is the only woman in his life, but we all know that things are more complicated than they appear. Before Yandy came around to show how much Mies adores Erica, his first baby mama, Erica and Mies had been together for a while. Samantha revealed that Erica was one of the few women he really liked. Erica claims that she and I used to live together, travel together, have matching passports, and even get to meet his whole family. Although she remained loyal to him and even assisted with the care of his first child when Samantha wasn't present, he needed her when things weren't going well for him. When he was steady and had a solid plan for the future, he met Yandy. Mendes has maintained communication with Erica despite being married to Yandy. There are speculations that he moved out of their home and broke up with Yandy in order to begin a new relationship with Erica now that he is free from prison and has a steady job. Since Yandy held Mies down, solved all of his issues, and got herself involved in baby mama drama that she shouldn't have, I don't think she deserves the abuse she's getting from Mies. She also had to endure M's mother's rudeness and work very hard to take care of his children. He freely said that he was married for obligation rather than love, and that he would never have supported her or kept the family together the way she did for him if their positions had been reversed. They were contacting you on your surplus ammunition, and they had nothing to do with Kirk or me. I'm not going to confront anyone about them, so pretend that you didn't mention that I wasn't there.
Me nor her. Them bitches was coming at you about your because they had too much ammo. Act like you didn't say that. I wasn't there. Now damn sure ain't gonna come to somebody about they